We all know that it's inevitable that mobile gaming is going to continue to grow, right? Like, most people have a phone, most people like video games now, so it makes sense mobile gaming is going to continue to grow. But Apple is taking steps to make that even easier because as of iOS 16, they're going to be adding support for Joy-Cons to connect to the iPhone, which is just going to give people even more ways to play games on their phone, and it's definitely going to be a lot better than like trying to use the touchscreen to play Warzone Mobile when it comes out. And I know that they added support for the Xbox and PlayStation controller about a year ago, but I still think this is going to be another addition that is huge for mobile gaming. And I just think it's cool that, like, if you own a Switch, now technically you kind of have two consoles if you have an iPhone too. Apple iOS 16 supports Switch Joy-Cons. Apple's upcoming iOS 16 update for iPhones and iPads brings new exciting features, including the ability to connect Joy-Con controllers. I'm honestly more surprised that this wasn't the first controllers that got connectivity. I know they did Microsoft and Sony about a year ago, but I know Nintendo also has a good relationship with Apple. They've released a few of App Store exclusive versions of Nintendo games. And I do think just the motion controls themselves would lend themselves pretty niftily to an iPhone. In my mind, I could throw like Joy-Con controllers in my backpack pretty easily if I wanted to play on my phone, whereas it's a lot harder to like hide an Xbox controller in my backpack. Either one of them you could throw in a backpack, alright? But you guys get what I'm saying. Joy-Con controllers are very small. I think this is also cool because it goes to show how much a lot of these tech companies are starting to look at gaming and be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is something we can make a lot of money doing. And I think the more companies start to push money towards gaming, the more it'll advance, the games will get better because there's bigger budgets. And Apple's a pretty big company, so the fact that they're taking all this time to set up the Apple Arcade to start adding controller connectivity, they obviously have a reason to believe that it's going to be the future of the company to be gaming. At least a part of it. Apple makes a bunch of money doing a lot of things, but they wouldn't be putting this much money and effort into developing this connectivity if they didn't think it was going to be an important part of the future of the company. Apple may not be the first name that comes to mind when it comes to gaming, yet it continues to show what its lineup of iPhones and iPads are a force to be reckoned with the mobile space. With services like Apple Arcade consistently adding new games to its catalog, iPhone and iPad users are essentially spoiled for choice, and lately Apple has also given more freedom to users in how they choose to play the game, either using touchscreen controls or a dedicated controller like Nintendo Joy-Cons, for example. I think this is really smart for a few reasons. The first is the most obvious. People that are already fans of the Apple Arcade are going to appreciate being able to use their Joy-Cons, especially if they also own a Switch. Adding features keeps your current users happy, but it's also going to get a lot of people to, at the bare minimum, test out the Apple Arcade, because if you have a Switch, why not just connect your Joy-Cons to your phone and see how it works? And if a few of those people really enjoy it, that's awesome. But what I think this is really going to be great for is just opening up people's mind to mobile gaming. Because not that the Switch isn't portable. I know it's like the most portable console, but for example, let's say you're going to be on an airplane or whatever. Being able to just throw the Joy-Cons in the backpack and connect them to your phone and play games, pretty sweet. Being able to throw your Xbox controller in the backpack, pretty sweet. I think all of this stuff all together is going to get a lot of people to try it out, and I don't think that mobile gaming is going to be like the way most people primarily game. If it is, no judgment. But I think where mobile's really going to shine is as they start to add more like crossover products and crossover games, is having people that can play their game the same way everywhere they are. All of a sudden, a 2-hour layover isn't that bad because I can, like, I don't know, play my Minecraft world that I play on my computer with a controller, or I can have a keyboard with me that connects to my phone and controls the game. I don't think people are going to be primarily Apple Arcade gamers, but the more you give people the ability to do things on the phone, the more likely they are to use it. Apple recently held its annual developer conference, and as usual, the event brought with it some new updates regarding Apple's products and services. Chief among them is iOS 16, which will be the newest version of the operating system for iPhones and iPads. And iOS 16 will bring many new features like the ability to edit and unsend text messages in iMessage, or even more impressively, native support for both Nintendo Switch Pro and Joy-Con controllers. Don't get it twisted, I think the Joy-Con and Pro-Con controllers is cool, but like, they're gonna give people the ability to unsend and edit iMessages? Oh no, all the rage texts that people regret are going to be like a thing of the past. I sent my grandma a paragraph that her apple turnover cake was absolute garbage, and the next time I'm going to eat it is when I'm reincarnated as a raccoon and I'm picking through the garbage because it was that disgusting. Thankfully now, because of iOS 16, I can unsend it and edit it to say, "Love you, Grammy." One thing I do have to give Apple some credit for, and I'm not trying to sound like too much of a fanboy, is the iOS updates at the bare minimum always have a gimmick that gets people talking about it again. Usually they do have a useful quality of life update like this one, but at the bare minimum, they know how to get people talking about the update, and when you're a company like that, talking about the newest operating system is always relatively good advertising, because if people are like, wow, the new update on the new iPhone is super premium swagged out, this operating system is next level, at least like one person's going to switch from Android. And I'm not saying the same thing doesn't happen when Samsung talks about its features. I'm just saying it's a good way to get some free advertising is to get your update trending with everybody talking about it. In a tweet, Test It showed proof that iOS 16 supports Joy-Con controllers with both the left and right units appearing as a single made-for-iPhone controller in apps. Users of iPhones and iPads with iOS 16 will also be able to dynamically switch between using Joy-Cons as a single controller or two separate controllers by holding the screenshot and home button for a few seconds, as corroborated by Apple engineering manager Nat Brown in a reply to his tweet. The Joy-Con and Switch Pro controllers will join the official ranks of controllers made for other game consoles, namely the PS5 and Xbox Series X, that can be natively used as input devices for iPhones and iPads. iOS has already supported DualSense and Xbox wireless controllers since last year, and it'll be interesting to see what developers will do to make their iPhone and iPad games take advantage of the controller. So I don't know a whole lot about game development, so this could be 100% wrong. It's just an idea that I had. Do you think this maybe pushes game companies to develop mobile versions of their game even more if it's going to be a big AAA release? I'm not sure how it works, but I'm going to assume that if you've already made the AAA version, scaling it down to a mobile game would be cheaper than developing a new game by itself. And if there's native controller support and you know the people that play the game on console will probably play this version and you'll sell a lot of microtransactions, maybe we do see a lot of situations where when a game releases, it's released on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and mobile. Just because if they're already going to take the time to report it to so many other consoles, what's adding mobile to it if the potential is there to make a bunch of money, because so many people have mobile devices. And you especially got to think, you know, everyone that already has a gaming PC or a console is like, look, I'm never going to be trying to play the brand new game on my iPhone first. But there are a ton of people out there that primarily have like their phone or a tablet as their entertainment device. They don't have every console, they don't have a gaming PC. And I think it would also be convenient for those people to be able to go to a store, buy Joy-Cons, and be able to enjoy new games. I don't know, it would be pretty cool. Switch users who are eager to try using Joy-Cons with their iPhones or iPads won't have to wait too long, as iOS 16 will be available as public beta testing starting next month, and a full release is expected to come sometime this fall. Alright, so yeah, anybody who's really looking forward to being able to test this bad boy out, looks like you're gonna have to wait a little bit, but I promise it'll be worth the wait. Don't quote me on that, don't get mad at me if it does suck. Actually, I take it back, I can't promise it'll be worth the wait. But what I can say is that it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, if it actually does end up impacting anything on like the gaming side of things. I'm not too sure, but it would be interesting to see if companies start putting in a mobile port of their game as a selling point. Like, hey, you can just connect your controller to your phone and you can play it there too. And of course, it'll be interesting to see if Android follows their lead and starts adding controller connectivity. I wonder if Apple kind of went to these gaming companies and said, we'll let you be easy to connect to the iPhone, but you can't work with Android. I'm not sure how that all works, but Apple and Android don't really get along. They love doing things like that to each other. But I think for the overall good of the gaming community, this should get added to Android. Why not? Let everything be able to play games. Screw it. Let my life support system when I'm 97 years old be able to play Tetris 2. That way my grandson doesn't unplug me to plug in his iPhone. Either way, I just thought this was some pretty cool news. If you enjoyed the video, I would really really appreciate you taking a quick second to press the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments section down below. Are you guys gonna try it out? Do you think this is cool? Do you think I'm wrong? Whatever, just let me know. If you like videos like this, you should also be sure to subscribe to the channel. I post videos like this twice a day. Yeah, that's right, I'm on the grind, ladies and gentlemen. So if you like videos like this, subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss another video. But yeah, on that note, guys, I think that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm out. Peace.